Hi, my name is Daniel, and I will be presenting to you my final project. My final project was I elected to go with the first option of making an ETL build. My project was about a e-commerce company essentially looking to track its metrics. Its goals were to um, increase its sales by increasing the number of items per transaction sold. So the idea was building relationships between different products and recommending those products to different customers shopping online. Depending on what they buy, they would be recommended additional products that are related to it. KPIs were for marketing, sales, and inventory. Average quantity of items per transaction, total sales per day, month, quarter, year, and the inventory turnover ratio. Um, I had four different files. First file or first table, sorry, was the product table. And this product table pretty much would talk about the different products offered within the website for the customer to purchase. So it would have information like SKU, city, sport, gender, discount, sale, league, etc., etc. Then we had the order table. The order table was just pretty much a deep breakdown of every order that was took place within the company, and within each order, which SKUs were purchased within each order, how many items were purchased, a total order price. Third table was the inventory, beginning inventory, ending inventory, additional inventory, and this is to help understand what the cost of goods sold is and the inventory turnover ratio. Fourth one is sales. The sales would just be revenue, SKU, num units, and price. This pretty much just give a overall holistic view of what the revenue was, the number of units sold for the year, and et cetera, et cetera. So do I have, first thing I'll do is I'll just show you the different files that I had. So the file that I just gave you an overview of, I have made a file of each thing. So the inventory, this is a CSV file. I have the sales, which is a CSV file. Order, there's different orders and just mock-up data within this one as well. It's a different CSV file. And the product table itself, this is another CSV file that I created. First thing I'll show you is my Microsoft um, SQL query managing system. So within the DePaul database, I have my own database, and the tables that I have created are the inventory, order, product, and sales. And essentially, the idea behind this is all of these all of these files that I have over here are mapped to these tables within this SQL database. Build up my Microsoft Visual Studios. Let me see if I can zoom out on this at all. One second, sorry. See if I can, sorry. Yes. There you go, sorry. Within this project, I have the control flow, which is a data flow. So once you go in the data flow, um, I have my file sources that are mapping over to the EDO net destinations. The destinations are the tables that I had just mentioned over here. So I have one for product, order, inventory, and sales. Um, Product is the product file source, and it's just being directly mapped to the um, destination. And if you look at the mappings, there's just a one-to-one mapping between the file from the CSV over to the table. Same thing with order. Order does have a data conversion or transformation layer that I have added. So order is a bunch of numbers. Now coming out of the CSV file, these are numbers are read actually as strings. Now, if I wanted to do calculations on it in my SQL statements, I couldn't do it because it's interpreted as strings. So I had to convert those numbers into actually I had to convert these numbers into these strings coming out of the CSV into integers. And the way I did that was this was going through a data conversion transformation. And transformation was converting the data type into a 4 byte site integer. And once it was converted into an integer, it was mapped into the ordered new table from MySQL. And if you notice the order new table, for example, if you looked at the data types in there, it was only taking in int. So if this data conversion was not there, then this would be an error of loading this data to this because it would be a string to an int, and that would not be possible. That's my first data conversion. The second one was my inventory table. Inventory table, I have two total conversions. The first one, so inventory itself, um, beginning, ending, additional inventory. I want to derive cost of goods sold based off this calculation. And the way I calculate cost of goods sold is beginning inventory plus additional inventory minus ending inventory. First thing I have to do is convert these strings into integers, as I mentioned before. So this data conversion does that. After that, I have a derived column transformation, and this derived column transformation, what it does is adds another column into my SQL database for inventory called cost of goods sold, and I have my calculation right here. So beginning inventory plus additional inventory, and if you expand it some more, you're subtracting the ending inventory from it. And then this finally loads it to the inventory table in MySQL. Sales is a data conversion as well. Same thing, just converting these into integers. Now integers, I'll be able to do some sort of calculations on it. So the first thing I'll do is I'll first start this and run this program that I have and make sure all this is being loaded into the databases successfully. Whoops, I have some sort of error. One moment, please. Oops, sorry, my file was open. My inventory file was open. Let me close that. Let me close all of it, sorry. Yeah, if you have these Excel sheets open, there's going to be trouble loading. So let me go ahead and close this one more time. Okay, let's see if I run it now. Yeah, my order file is still open. One moment. Oh, there you go. Now it should work. Starting the file. There you go. So successful transformations, successful conversions, and successfully loaded into the databases. Now if I pull up to my Microsoft SQL, I've made a set of 5 different queries. The first query is just pretty much selecting everything from the product table just to make sure, just to show you all that the product table was loaded correctly. The second query was selecting cost of goods sold. So remember how I said from here, I added a cost of goods sold calculation added onto this database over here. This showing this is the cost of goods sold calculation from this metric. Third one was the inventory turnover ratio, which is another metric of mine. Just cost of goods sold divided by ending inventory, so it gives you some sort of calculation for that. Fourth one was actually combining two different tables within the data model. So we have I'm interjoining the product table with the sales table. The SKU was actually the primary key on the product table, and the foreign key on the sales. So I'm doing interjoin on the SKU. And the fifth one is actually I'm going to be removing duplicates from the order table. So as I had mentioned, the order table had pretty much a information on all the orders, but let's just say it had 3 items. Each item would have a different entry and the same order ID. So I'm just removing the duplicate order IDs, and the theory behind that is okay. Once you remove the duplicates, you can get the count of orders, and then you can start getting into average number of items per order. So if the company wants to understand what those values were, they can start deriving those. But these are just pretty much 5 very basic SQL statements, just to show you that the data model is working and everything was loaded. So if I do execute it, you will see that the query was successful. Here's the first query, which is the product table. Then I have cost of goods sold. Third one was the inventory turnover ratio, which is 23. Fourth one was the inner join between two different tables. The fifth one was me removing duplicates of specific orders. Um, Sorry, I kind of changed something on here. Um, yeah, but that's pretty much the intent of the queries, to show you that the data model was working. Thank you.